Today was the day. A bunch of gaming outlets recently got a hands-on preview of Red Dead Redemption 2, and today was the day that they were allowed to talk about it. And the reviews have been incredible. Pretty much every single article I've read has stated that this game is just on another level. And I'll be actually making a separate video breaking down, going through all like 25 of those different articles and letting you guys know some of the new things we learned, because there's quite a bit. I'll be doing that later on today, so definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new around here so you don't miss that. But in this video, I wanted to show you guys the new screenshots that Rockstar actually released today. Before we get into those though, I want you guys to take a look at this. And this is just one of the little things that I saw on Twitter, and this is why I really am excited for this game. So this person says, I like Polygon's opener about the random NPC that had been saved from a snake bite in the wild, and when Arthur returned to the town of Valentine a few days later and stumbled over to the gun shop where two people were conversing, one of them was the snake-bitten man, who was the shop owner. And he said, hey, that's the guy I was telling you about who saved my life. Go on inside and help yourself to a free gun. That's just absolutely amazing. The fact that days prior to this, you save this man's life and you actually get something in return because he remembers. Little things like that are truly what's going to make this game so memorable. Now, getting into these screenshots, we're just going to scroll through these. This first one is of Dutch, and I'll try and break down and if I see something that maybe stands out. But they did mention in some of the previews the clothing is pretty intricate. At least for yourself, you have a ton of different options, and the members of your gang actually have their own separate clothing styles and different outfits that they can wear, and I guess this is one of Dutch's. Next picture we have of, I believe this is Charles Smith, and he is hunting, and we don't know this, but I'm just gonna assume that he is the guy that maybe teaches Arthur about hunting with a bow and arrow, because not only do we have this picture, but I believe in one of the trailers we got to see him with Arthur as well. But again, this is a pretty awesome screenshot, and the detail looks pretty nice too. Third one is of this gun. They did say that the gun customization in this game is also on another level. There's so many things you can do, and you can actually inspect your guns to see the customization you have. Now I'm going to assume this is Dutch because he has the D on the ring there, but the gun just looks incredible. Moving along, we have Arthur breaking into a store here, it looks like, to probably rob it. And they did also mention that when you rob stores, there's different things you can do. You can obviously go in there, probably guns a-blazing, but you can also have people run away and just take everything. Like, you can sort of decide on how bad you truly want to be. Then we have this screenshot jumping over trains. This is in Annesburg, you can see on the right. One little thing I want to point you guys to over here in the water. This is oil being dumped into the water, and it actually has that rainbow effect. So the little details, love them. Now, we don't know who this is. This could be Arthur, probably is Arthur. One thing I did read, though, we can actually drive the trains. So I know that was a big thing in GTA Online and GTA 5. You could maybe get into the train, couldn't drive it, though. In this game, you can drive the train, you can honk the horn, you can do a lot of stuff with the train. So that'll be really, really cool. The next one is the gang just around a campfire. Looks like we have John maybe right there and some of the other people. One thing they did mention about the gang is that depending on the time of day or just whenever, members will come and go. So sometimes you'll go to the campsite and there won't be the person you're looking for there because they're out doing something. Like, the camp doesn't rely on you, and that's another really awesome detail. Next, we have them going through probably somewhere at nighttime. One downside, and I really hope we can turn down the brightness at nighttime, because I'm one of the people that truly likes to be immersed into the game. And when you have super, super bright nights like this, it's obviously not very realistic. Even with the moon, I know the moon definitely is bright, but still, I'd like to see a little darker night. However, again, just the details on Arthur here got some really good looks. And actually, with the clothing, you'll see his clothing I guess if you get new clothing, it won't have this stuff, but over time, it'll actually get more beaten up and worn down. So you're going to have to constantly change, not constantly, but every now and then change your clothing if you want to stay looking fresh. Here we have Arthur interacting with someone, and the horse looks like a pretty freaking beastly horse. Got a bunch of muscles there. They did mention that horses, there's going to be a variety of horses in the game. Some are going to be better for certain things, but they did also say that just interacting with NPCs is going to be something that we've never really seen before, at least in a Rockstar Games game. Like the attention to detail and what you can do and ask people is pretty detailed. Here we have a look at two of the other members of the gang, and graphically speaking, it's not like the greatest, but it is really, really, really impressive. Moving along, I believe this is Micah, and it's in the snow. One thing that stood out to me in the articles was that they mentioned, as far as clothing goes, you are going to need more clothing if you're in the snow. You can see he's all buttoned up, and he's got probably a shirt or something on underneath, because in the snow it's cold, and if you don't have that, you're not going to have a good time. I don't know if you'll die, but there are negative consequences if you don't actually wear a lot of clothing up in the snow. And the same goes for out in the summer day. You don't want to be having giant coat on. But the snow will actually stick to your outfits. So if you're up in the snow and you have snow on you, it's not going to go away until it gets sunny out or hot enough to melt off and then drip off your clothes. Then we just have a nice screenshot of the open field, probably a sunrise or something. They take a lot of these pictures at sunrise, but that is a pretty awesome screenshot. This is in the plains area, I'd imagine. Here we have, again in the sunlight, Arthur riding on the horse. One thing regarding horses, they said that you want to bond with your horse if you want to have a good experience on the horse. Like if you bond with it, if you clean it, if you feed it, then over time, the horse will start to like you more and will listen to you more than a random horse. Then we have Arthur, and I believe this is Sadie. And again, they did mention, you can see she has a little cut on her face. When you get into fist fights, faces will get deformed from them. So if you get hit in the face, that's going to leave a mark. And it's probably going to take a while before that goes away. So if you want your guy looking pretty fresh, then don't get into fist fights. Another thing, if you look closely at the gun here, there are some spots where it is being worn down. And they mentioned that guns in this game actually can get worn down and broken. You have to somewhat clean them regularly to make sure they work properly. Don't know if that's going to be an annoying feature in the game or not. We'll have to wait and see, but it is a feature that is in the game, and I wanted to mention it to you guys. Here we have Arthur in a grave. Looks maybe like in a swampy area too. A lot of fog in this game. That's one thing I've come away with in all these pictures. There's going to be a lot of fog. Then we have Javier with his poncho smoking. So I'm guessing smoking will be something we can do if it's an option for him. Nothing too much there. Then we have this lovely picture at sunrise. I'd imagine the flowers look amazing. You can see we're riding with the gang. They did mention that in free roam, you can actually pick up members of your gang and like have them tag along with you. So that's kind of cool if you want sort of a companion. Don't know the extent of that, but that does sound pretty awesome. This picture is of Arthur in front of a sign. You can see that's how we're going to know where to go. If you don't want to look at your map, you got your little signs. And he is dual wielding, which is cool. Next one, this is probably the coolest picture out of them all. This outfit looks amazing. And you can actually see the blood on his outfit and on the knife. This is probably after him either killing someone or an animal. And they did say that the blood, like the snow, will stick to your clothing. And if you don't wipe it off, I guess, it will stain or dry. And when you go into towns and people see your outfits all bloodied, they're going to react pretty poorly because you have blood in your clothes. And that's not something that is normal. Here we have Arthur looking over a town. I mean, this just looks so beautiful. You got the mountains in the back there. You got the clouds, the rain clouds, it looks like, probably coming in. And then the little town down there to probably go explore. Here we have Arthur and actually John in the background in a little fight. Apparently there's a rival gang in this game. Probably going to be more than one, but there's a rival gang, and maybe this is us fighting them. Here we have Bill Williamson, not shaven like the screenshot we saw the other day, but we have him, Micah, someone else, probably just around the camp doing some stuff. This picture is another one of my favorites from this bunch. Him, Arthur, walking into a saloon or some sort of, place that people go. You can see a lot of stuff going on. You got some ladies of the night probably up here. You have some card games going on in the back. You can get some drinks. But it looks alive. It looks awesome. And the interiors are something I'm looking forward to in this game because we didn't have any in GTA. Arthur and them on a train with the Gatling gun. That's going to be crazy. They did mention about Deadeye. I don't want to go into that in this video, but this does look cool. Another shot of Arthur and then Micah. This is at nighttime on a grave in a firefight. They did say that since the guns, kind of like in real life, it puts out sparks or fire, you can light oil or you can light gas on the ground with it. Here we have Arthur on the horse. The horse looks a little weird. Looks a little freaked out there. But again, just looks pretty nice. And then the final screenshot is of Dutch and the gang looking like he is confronting someone, telling them to come at me, bro, basically. But those are all the screenshots. That is some of the new info that we learned. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more awesome Red Dead Redemption 2 content. Hit that bell button so you don't miss out when I do upload. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.